as India's 191 was chased down by Australia with 7 wickets and 2 deliveries to spare. 194 for 3 in reply to India's 190 for 4 in 19.4 overs is what Australia got those runs. And certainly, Shiva, it must be said that the dew, which was not expected to be a factor, became much bigger factor in this match than was expected.
Yeah, the dew and the hurricane from Glenn Maxwell. He played a fabulous innings. I can understand the bowling conditions was difficult, but Maxwell in this kind of form would have done anything. Could have easily won the game, and he's done exactly that. India managing 190 for 4, mainly because of Virat Kohli. 72 not out of 38 balls. Mahendra Singh Dhoni getting 48-23. Their partnership allowed India to get 190. Otherwise, at one stage, it looked like India might just get 150 or 160. But even that 190 was not good enough, because Maxwell took the bull by his horns and made sure he stayed till the end. And it's an outstanding 100, one of the best that you'll ever see in any form of the game, and more so in the shortest format. 113 not out, 55 deliveries, 7 fours and 9 sixes. Clearly a match winner for his side, Glenn Maxwell.
So great victory there for Australia by 7 wickets, as there is plenty more to follow. We are what a chase there from Glenn Maxwell. 113 not out of 55 deliveries, and finished it off with in style with a
he was
boundary.
right there till the very end with Glenn Maxwell saw the winning runs as well. But what a part in the partnership did he play. Well done. He needed some kind of security from the other end, not worry about another collapse after the last game. So Hanscom, that was a wonderful innings, and well done.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I'd just like to plink it around for one and watch the Maxi show, but that was the best seat in the house to watch that, and it was a privilege from my end.
Well, there was one lovely shot that you played over extra cover.
Oh yeah, thanks mate, I've been working on that one, so it was nice to get it done in a game. But yeah, like I said, I was just trying to get Maxi on strike. That was our plan, and to take it as deep as possible, and we got the chocolates tonight.
Yeah, there have been some batting issues in the last match. You bowled well, the batting wasn't really coming together. Today, playing against India on their home ground to pull off that kind of a chase must give you immense confidence now going forward.
Yeah, that can give us a lot of confidence going into these one days. That was something we spoke about in our team meeting. We wanted to make sure there's an in batter at the end, and it was the batter's job to do it. And today Maxi stood up, but that can give the whole batting group so much confidence going forward.
So how would you describe Glenn Maxwell if I were to ask you, what do you think of Glenn Maxwell? What kind of a batsman he is?
He's a freak, mate. He's so good. He can play shots that other people can't play. And he's just maturing with each game, which is awesome to watch. And it's just great being up the other end to see it.
Well done. Good result for you, 2-0. So congratulations on the win, and we'll look forward to your performance in the 50 overs matches. Well done.
Lovely. Thank you, mate.
That was Peter Hanscom, who said he had the best seat in the house to watch that hurricane from Glenn Maxwell. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with more.
Cricket Trivia. Only on Sports Flashes.
Virat Kohli's 512 runs in T20 internationals versus Australia is the most number of runs scored by any batsman versus the Aussies. Aaron Finch's 397 runs in T20 internationals versus India is the most scored by any batsman against the men in blue. You are tuned into Sports Flashes Radio. World's biggest sports radio channel. Sports Flashes, the official broadcast partner of BCCI. Sports Flashes, everything about sports. You are listening to Sports Flashes live. Catch all the live updates of Australia Tour of India from 24th February to 13th March. Download the app now and stay tuned for more updates. Sports Flashes, world's biggest sports radio channel.
Here we go, what a start.
Wow, he's crushed that very first ball. Oh, what about that? What about that?
Oh, and another one. Easily done by the keeper.
It's about time for Indian T20 Showdown. Stay tuned to Sports Flashes.
Welcome back to Bengaluru, and the news is that Australia have wrapped up this series 2-0. First defeat in any form of international cricket under at home under the captaincy of Virat Kohli, and first T20 defeat in any bilateral series since start of 2016. But this is going to hurt big time, Chetan.
Absolutely. I mean, India pride on their limited overs format at home, and obviously their record in the last couple of years was very, very impressive. But well, there are two factors here. First of all, Glenn Maxwell. What a knock! There is no shame in losing to someone when of the caliber of Maxwell, when he plays a knock like that. 113 or 55 balls. Yes, there was dew. Yes, the boundaries are shot. No excuse at all. Australia have been the better side over the two matches and completely deserve to win the series 2-0. But of course, India, it also needs to be thought of the fact that India have been experimenting a bit, keeping the World Cup in mind, as have Australia. So both sides perhaps not playing their best T20 configurations, if I can say so. But again, like I said, it does not take away from the fact that Australia have been the better side over the two matches and are deserved winners.
And definitely Glenn Maxwell making all the difference in his in both the matches. 56 at Vizag and 113 not out here in Bengaluru. 9 sixes and 7 fours in that 113. 100 coming off 50 balls, and what a strike rate when a batsman hits a century like that. It certainly gives a lot of boost to the team's chase, and that's exactly what happened. Peter Hanscom playing 20 not out of 18 deliveries. Darcy short, and Glenn Maxwell had a good third wicket partnership for 73 before Short was caught by Rahul of the bowling of Vijay Shankar. But Short had also done his work. 28 balls for his 40 with the help of 6 fours, and Marcus Stoinis and Aaron Finch went cheaply, but that was the end of the success run for the Indians, as Australia win this two-match T20 international series 2-0. There will be the 5 matches starting in Hyderabad in the 50-over format, and there again the Australians will be hoping that they can put it across the Indians, who are definitely in the experimental mode, trying out different players, trying out different combinations to see that what will work best for the World Cup. But then no excuses offered, because certainly Australia were the better side in both the matches at Vizag and Bengaluru. Glenn Maxwell standing out with his attacking play, batting through and seeing Australia win the match rather handsomely. Just a short while from now, we'll have the post-match presentation, and that will, there no doubt, who the man of the match would be in this game. Glenn Maxwell with his 113 of 55 deliveries, a hands-down winner, definitely the unanimous choice. What was the standout about his batting was that he never looked in any kind of trouble, did not give the bowlers a single chance at all. Darcy Short did have a reprieve when he was dropped in 36 by Rishabh Pant, went for 40, but that was about it. And thereafter, Peter Hanscom played a quiet knock, 20 not out of 18 deliveries, 1-4 to his name, but that was it. He was looking to give the strike back to Glenn Maxwell at every opportunity, and Glenn Maxwell did not disappoint. As we join Sanjay Manjrekar now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the post-match presentation. A big round of applause to Aaron Finch and his boys for an impressive performance, winning this Paytm T20 Series 2-0. Right, before we introduce our presentation party, we have to thank our sponsors, the title sponsors Paytm, the team sponsor Oppo, kit sponsor Nike, the official partners Hyundai, Pepsi and Jana Small Finance Bank. The BCCI would also like to thank the KSCA and all the government agencies who were involved in the smooth conduct of this T20 game. Right, our presentation party, starting from my immediate left, got Mr. Sanjay Desai, the president of KSCA. He played some first-class cricket as well for Karnataka. Mr. Kiran Shetty, unit manager Pepsi. Mr. Rabin Stephen, EVP, Jana Small Finance Bank. Mr. Satish Kumar Gupta, MD and CEO, Paytm Payments Bank. And my first invitation goes to the Indian captain, Virat Kohli. Yeah, Virat, just a quick review from you of your performance in the series.
Well, yeah, it's a pretty short series to summarize a performance, but yeah, Australia outplayed us in both games. I think they were more clinical with the bat, with the ball and in the field as well, so they deserved to win thoroughly. We made a few mistakes in the first game, but I think tonight we put up a decent enough show. I think 190 is a competitive total on any ground, but when there's that much dew on the ground and you have an innings like Maxi played tonight, they deserve to be on the winning side.
Would you be fretting too much on this result of the series? Because there's such a big event coming up shortly, so people are always thinking that India's planning for the World Cup.
Of course, I mean you never take any series lightly, but we're not too bothered by a few T20 games before the World Cup. I think every team's just fine-tuned what they want to, and we just wanted to try a few things in these couple of games and in the next 5 games as well. So I think every team is taking every series like that. But having said that, you have to try and win every series that you play as a team. And when another team plays better than you, especially in a shorter format, it's very difficult to sort of analyze that, because T20 games can go anywhere. We still would have liked to go across the line in this one, especially because we put up decent enough runs on the board. But as I said, in the later half, second half of Australia's innings, there was too much dew on the ground, and I can't really be hard on the bowlers.
There were few players that you put under the scanner as well, looking at options. So maybe 3 or 4 guys that you played and you were watching them obviously with the World Cup in mind as well. So your impression on those guys, people like say Vijay Shankar or Markande who played here, and Umesh Yadav, all those guys.
Well, yeah, we wanted to give everyone some game time. We've seen all of these guys, how they react in different situations, and we got a series coming up to try a few things again. See how guys are reacting under pressure, because come that big event, everyone needs to be ready mentally. So, we need to give them a few more opportunities. I wouldn't judge anyone or analyze anyone in 2 games. So it's up to them to grab the opportunities and deliver the goods for the team.
Yeah, final question. You played decently today. For a while we haven't seen Virat Kohli, the T20 batsman, and you were in full flow today. How was the experience out there?
Well, the good thing was that the Bangalore wicket was back to normal. Yeah. So you could really, play your shots off length. And this is one pitch where you can trust your technique and your shots and just go for it. So tonight was one of the nights when it came off, but it didn't really matter because we lost in the end.
Right. Thanks for talking to us. All the best for the one-day series.
Thank you very much.
So that was Virat Kohli, the Indian captain. Our next presentation is the Jana Bankable Player of the Match, a cheque of ₹1 lakh and a trophy. And this goes to Darcy Short. Mr. Rabin Stephen from Jana Small Finance Bank will give that award. So that's Darcy Short with the Jana Bankable Player of the Match. And a trophy as well, presented by Rabin Stephen. Virat Kohli has got another award here. He just had a chat with us. It's the Pepsi Swag Star of the Match. A cheque of ₹1 lakh and a trophy. Virat Kohli, 72 not out of 38 balls, gets the Pepsi Swag Star of the Match. So congratulations to Virat Kohli. Right, next up we've got the man of the match, Satish Kumar Gupta. Will use the Paytm UPI transfer money to digitally transfer the prize money of ₹1 lakh and a trophy. And this goes to Glenn Maxwell. 113 of just 55 balls, 9 sixes, 7 fours, a strike rate of 205.5. So Maxwell at his very best tonight. Right, going to move to the series awards now. There's a trophy as well for Maxwell. We're going to chat with you shortly. So that was Maxwell, our Paytm man of the match, a check of ₹1 lakh and a trophy as well. The series awards. Jason Barendorf is the Jana Bankable Player of the series, a check of ₹2.5 lakhs and a trophy to Jason Barendorf, 2 wickets at an economy of 5.50, including a brilliant run out in the first T20 International. Robin Stephen will give that award. And a trophy as well. Right, who is the man of the series of this tournament? And that goes to Glenn Maxwell again. Man of the match, man of the series. 100 as we said in this game and a 56 in the first match. Mr. Satish Kumar Gupta from Paytm will present the Paytm man of the series, a check of ₹2.5 lakhs. And let's not forget the trophy. Right, Glenn? That was just sensational. High quality from ball number 1. Well done. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels really good. We were just talking about before, we haven't had a lot of success over here, and wins have been few and far between, but to come over here and perform as well as we have in these 2 T20s, it started us off really well for this tour.
Help me understand you, because I was following your career last IPL. You were really struggling for runs, but when you're in form, I mean, even Bumrah wasn't spared. So how does that happen to the same player?
I think it helps playing a big bulk of T20 cricket in a domestic competition back home. So to have that consistency of format and come straight over here and feel pretty confident about my game has really helped. And to come out here and have a couple of good innings and help us to a couple of wins has been outstanding.
Just give us an insight of how your mind works when the bowler is running in. You need to get some big overs. Are you keeping your mind blank, or there are some plans that you have which could change at the last minute?
It was a pretty good wicket, so we were able to sort of, I suppose, wait for anything slightly offline or that we could get a bit of length. So we knew it was probably going to be a little bit easier against the quicks at the end. So we just needed to get it, I suppose, to about 11 or 12 and over for the last 4 overs and back ourselves to chase that.
Was there a feeling tonight to stay there right till the end? Because last game you played superbly, but just couldn't take the team through. But this time you got an impression that you wanted to be there right till the very end.
Yeah, I suppose definitely after Darcy's dismissal, I suppose it was up to me to really stick around and drive the rest of the innings going forward. And Pete Hanscom did a really good job of getting off strike and being really busy. And we were able to build a partnership really quickly, and we didn't really lose too much momentum after that wicket. So I thought that was a really key moment of the game, where last game obviously we had that run out and all of a sudden a bit of chaos at the back end, but we were able to keep consistently having good overs and keep that run rate in check.
Well played, Glenn, and congratulations on the award and the win as well. One of the best T20 innings that we've seen in India, so well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Right, the final presentation, of course, will be the trophy. But before that, let's invite the winning captain, Aaron Finch, for a little chat. Congratulations to the Australian captain. Let's have a chat first, Aaron. It's a brilliant result for you. This must feel good. And the batting coming good in a run chase under pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think any time that you can win any kind of series against India in India, it's a pretty special moment. And unbelievable performance by Max. He was an outstanding batting display. But I think Adam Zampa was a huge difference in the game. To go none for 23 on a wicket that didn't really suit too much spin was a hell of an effort. It was a great performance by him and the team. That batting group, obviously led by Maxi, was pretty good.
I'm one of those guys who keep looking out for bowlers who do well in T20 cricket, and I was hoping that Zampa would get that recognition, but when Maxi goes that way, what can you do? Bowling is still quality when you look at the 50 overs World Cup. Do you think you found some batsmen that will come good in the World Cup, and people would think Australia is now a strong team, and we've discovered 2 or 3 batsmen, you think?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think we've been on a journey for the last 10, 11 months building up towards the World Cup, and there has been a little bit of pain during that period, and I think the great thing about it is we've kept improving the whole time, and we've taken our fair share of knocks along the way, but as long as we keep improving and peak at the right time, that's all you can ask.
So well done, Aaron. Must feel good winning 2-0 against a team like India. Congratulations, well done. Take that trophy. The gentleman is waiting for you to collect it. Mr. Satish Kumar Gupta will present Aaron Finch the trophy. The Paytm India versus Australia T20 trophy goes to Australia. Aaron Finch, the captain. Mr. Satish Kumar Gupta making the presentation on behalf of So that's it. The final presentation has been made. The Australians are lining up. They've not had a great time at the international level, but in the T20 series they were phenomenal. Impressive with the ball in the last match. Impressive with the bat tonight. Well done.
Definitely Australia deserving winners in the series. 2-0 against India. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with a little more analysis.
Cricket Trivia. Only on Sports Flashes.
Yuvraj Singh's 9 sixes in a T20 international series versus Australia is the most scored by any batsman between the two teams while playing in India. Jasprit Bumrah's 15 wickets in 9 T20 internationals versus Australia is the highest number of wickets taken by a bowler versus the Kangaroos. One station filled with full football fever.
The shot will go for it and will plant an absolute cracker into the corner to put the icing on what is a very sweet tasting cake for Manchester City.
And you are just one click away.
Sergio Aguero. Oh, that's vicious! Unstoppable!
Download Sports Flashes app or visit www.sportsflashes.com. Sports Flashes, world's biggest sports radio channel.
Sports Flashes.
You are tuned into Sports Flashes Radio. World's biggest sports radio channel. Sports Flashes, the official broadcast partner of BCCI. Sports Flashes, everything about sports. Catch all the cricketing action and complete drama at one click of your phone.
He does that. Smack, again onside, being peppered. Consecutive boundaries.
Don't miss. Download the app now. Sports Flashes, world's biggest sports radio channel.
Sports Flashes.
Welcome back, and the news from Bangalore is that Australia have won the series 2-0 thanks to that marauding performance by Glenn Maxwell. 56 in Vizag, 113 not out here, making short work of the 191 run target set by India. But it must be said in favour of the Australians that although the pitch was very good, their bowlers stuck to the task. The faster men went for a few runs, but Jason Behrendorff, 3 overs 17, Adam Zampa 4 overs 23, and that really what would have been the big difference between the two sides.
Absolutely. I think what India lacked was a bit of control. They wanted to just hold Jasprit Bumrah back for later in the innings. Perhaps there wasn't as much due at that start of the Australian innings, and maybe it was a mistake holding Bumrah back. Perhaps he could have bowled a couple more overs there. But even then, I think what was the big difference, the real big difference, was with the Indian spinners going for 80 runs in their 8 overs. I mean, you know, India have a strength in spin bowling, irrespective of the format that they're playing in, and as a result, when the spinners don't get going, then of course their bowling attack is going to struggle as a whole. We cannot take away the fact that yes, there was due, but having said that, again and again, we cannot stress it enough that when Glenn Maxwell gets going like that, you know, due ball or not, there is no stopping him.
Well, definitely Glenn Maxwell took the match away from the Indians, who definitely fancied their chances when the Indians had them 22 for 2. We'll take a short break and come back and talk more about the Australian performance.
Here we go, what a start.
Oh, he's crushed that very first ball. Oh, what about that? What about that?
Oh, and another one. Easily done by the keeper.
It's about time for Indian T20 Showdown. Stay tuned to Sports Flashes. You are listening to Sports Flashes live. Catch all the live updates of Australia Tour of India from 24th February to 13th March. Download the app now and stay tuned for more updates. Sports Flashes, world's biggest sports radio channel. You are listening to Sports Flashes live. Download Sports Flashes app or visit www.sportsflashes.com. Sports Flashes, world's biggest sports radio channel. You are tuned into Sports Flashes Radio, world's biggest sports radio channel. Sports Flashes, the official broadcast partner of BCCI. Sports Flashes, everything about sports.
It was a Glenn Maxwell show here in Bengaluru, 113 not out, but to be sure, he could not have done it alone. Darcy Short had a partnership with him for 73 runs for the third wicket. He also had a partnership with Maxwell in Vizag, 84 for the third wicket. So Darcy Short and Glenn Maxwell certainly coming together and making sure that Australia do not falter despite losing early wickets.
I was very impressed with Darcy Short. I thought he played really intelligent cricket. Like we saw in Vizag, he played second fiddle to Glenn Maxwell. Maxwell took a little, maybe 8 to 10 balls before he really got going and shifted from the second gear to the fifth gear straight away. But, the way Darcy Short played Krunal Pandya at times, picking those gaps, making sure those boundaries keep coming. I thought he really played a very good hand. But again, of course, you go back to Glenn Maxwell, 9 sixes, 7 fours. At one point of time, it felt that the boundaries weren't just stopping. And that is the real thing. You had said it so many times, Ravi, during the Australian innings. When you're chasing something as tall as 190 odd, you need that boundary early in every over. And within the first 3 deliveries, at least, Maxwell was always targeting that boundary. And once he got that boundary, the pressure, like we saw, was always on the Indian bowlers. Thanks to the dew, the spinners were not able to come back. But again, Australian batsmen maneuvered the situation, the conditions really well, and I think they deserve all the credit.
Well, definitely, and a lot of praise must also go to Peter Hanscom. Played second fiddle, had a good partnership with Glenn Maxwell, and saw his side through from 95 for 3 to 194 for 3, a 99-run partnership. Peter Hanscom and his contribution just 20 as Glenn Maxwell saw his side through. We'll take a short break and we'll be back to talk about the one-day internationals coming up with 2 days' time.
You are listening to Sports Flashes live.
Kohli finishes off in style. A magnificent strike into the crowd. India lift the World Cup. Pulls it back. Here's Ronaldo for the hat-trick. And Cristiano Ronaldo does it again.
Sports Flashes, world's biggest sports radio channel.
Here we go, what a start.
Wow, he's crushed that very first ball. Oh, what about that? What about that?
Go on, another one. Easily done by the keeper.
It's about time for Indian T20 Showdown. Stay tuned to Sports Flashes. You are listening to Sports Flashes live. Download Sports Flashes app or visit www.sportsflashes.com. Sports Flashes, world's biggest sports radio channel. one station filled with full football fever.
Thinks about the shot, will go for it, and will plant an absolute cracker into the corner to put the icing on what is a very sweet tasting cake for Manchester City.
And you are just one click away.
Sergio Aguero. Oh, that's vicious! Unstoppable!
Download Sportsflashes app or visit www.sportsflashes.com. Sports Flashes, world's biggest sports radio channel.
Sportsflashes.
Welcome back, and India have been beaten 2-0 in the T20 series by the Australians, and the man of the series, Glenn Maxwell. Definitely Australia would now like to carry this momentum into the 50-over game, which starts at Hyderabad in 2 days.
Absolutely, there's no question about that. There's a lot said about the fact that they're missing the likes of David Warner and Steve Smith. But despite and of course you have to remember that when India were touring in Australia, they were missing Pat Cummins, they were missing Josh Hazlewood, they were missing Mitchell Starc, and yet they competed very well. India just scraped past and won that 3-match ODI series 2-1. So Australia, on paper, are a very good side. On the field as well, they're a very good side, despite missing quite a few players. Warner and Smith are still missing. Cummins is here, but Hazlewood is injured. Starc is out as well. So yes, it is a second string bowling attack for them, but still it has real know-how of these conditions, and they have obviously full of confidence now because of they've won the series 2-0 in the T20 format. So I would not take Australia lightly at all. Yes, both sides will be experimenting in the build-up to the World Cup as well, but this is going to be a really close ODI series as well.
Well, the good news for India is that KL Rahul is back among the runs, got a 50 in Vizag, 47 here. So his coming back into form does have a backup for the opening partnership of Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan. KL Rahul, not really the first choice opener for the 50 overs game, but a backup nonetheless.
Yes, I think I consider him as a top order batsman, not just an opener. Yes, he prefers to bat in the opening spot, but I think if he goes to the World Cup, he has to perform that role of being a top order batsman, not just a backup opener. So in that sense, yes, India want to take an extra batsman. They're looking at Vijay Shankar as the fourth seam option because he can bat a bit as well. He's an all-rounder, so taking two seam-up all-rounders. So in that sense, KL Rahul is in prime position to be the third choice top-order batsman. And in that sense, he's done well with the opportunities that have come his way. He was looking woefully out of form in Australia, but since then he's come back, he's worked on his game, and it's good to see him scoring some runs. Having said that, I think also the fact that India have been experimenting in the T20 format. I think they will be more comfortable with this sort of experimentation in the longer format, that is the 50 over cricket. And this team, this balance of this side, of this Indian side, is more suited to the 50 over format than in the T20 format, because they've been mixing T20s and ODIs in terms of their experimentation for the World Cup. So I think it'll bear more fruit in the ODIs, and of course we cannot forget that Kuldeep Yadav will also be back for the ODI series.
Well, Kuldeep Yadav will definitely be back from a break, but it was great to see MS Dhoni back to his old touch, getting those quick-fire 40 of 23 and a 100-run partnership with Virat Kohli when the innings was tottering a bit at 74 for 3. Rishabh Pant out cheaply once again. Rishabh Pant, a youngster, still not able to grab his chances and possibly still needs to mature a bit before making a big mark on the international stage.
The thing with Rishabh Pant is every time he's come under pressure, he's played a rash shot. I wouldn't say today's shot was rash, but look at the end result. It was in the air long enough, allowed some really good fielding and good catching as well. And that is always the case in international cricket. So the crux of the matter is that Pant is throwing his wicket away a lot more than he should perhaps, and that maturity needs to come up into his game a lot quicker if he is to replace somebody like MS Dhoni. Talking about Dhoni, well, just the IPL is remaining after this, and of course the ODIs are there, but India do not play T20 international cricket after the World Cup. And if going by the rumours and the talk that Dhoni might not play on after the World Cup, was this perhaps his last international T20 for India? That question is unknown to everybody, but the fact remains that MS Dhoni wound time back today and gave us a scintillating performance.
Well, 3 4s and 3 6s in that 40. That allowed India to set a 190 run target. But then India ran into Glenn Maxwell, who made sure that Australia ran away winners by 7 wickets to wrap up the series 2-0. That will be all from us here in Bengaluru. We will be back with you from Hyderabad on the 2nd of March at 12:30 p.m. To lead up to the one-day international series, 5-match series starting at the Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium in Hyderabad. But at the moment, we'll say goodbye from Bengaluru.
One team on path of setting new records. Another made history in the past. And now, one more time. These two teams will fight each other to prove their might. 2 T20s, 5 ODIs, Australia Tour of India. Don't miss live commentary with cricket experts on Sportsflashes Radio, the global audio broadcaster of BCCI. Tune in now to Sportsflashes Radio, the world's biggest sports radio channel.
Here we go, what a start!
Wow, he's crunched that very first ball. Oh, what about that? What about that?
Oh, and another one, easily done by the keeper.
It's about time for Indian T20 Showdown. Stay tuned to Sports Flashes. Catch all the cricketing action and complete drama at one click of your phone.
He does that. Smack again onside, being peppered. Consecutive boundaries.
Don't miss. Download the app now. Sports Flashes, world's biggest sports.
That's work to do. He was not able to cut it off. 22 for 1 the score for Australia. No change in field as Vijay Shankar bowls the last ball of this over. He's gone up in the air. Aaron Finch, he's got an out. Shikhar Dhawan with the catch at extra cover. This is high up in the air and it has gone for 6. Short delivery from Jasprit Bumrah on the middle end leg. Glenn Maxwell swivel, got a top edge and it flew finer than the fielder placed at fine leg. Over the ropes though. Third man has dropped down. No slip in position for Darcy Short as Siddharth Kaul bowls. This time Fuller on the off stump and once again smacked through the cover. This time in the gap between cover and point. One more 4 to Darcy Short. His third boundary. Vijay Shankar to Darcy Short reverts to his original field position and this time again short delivery on the middle leg. He's proving expensive in this over. Pulled towards the square leg fence for another boundary. 4th 4 for Darcy Short now. 24 of 17, 10 runs of 5 deliveries from this over and a Fuller delivery on the off stump and he's flicked it off his wrists. That's a brilliant shot from Glenn Maxwell. Gets it to the left of the fielder at deep mid-wicket and that's a very handsome boundary from Glenn Maxwell who's got his second 4 and moved on to 17 of 7, 58 for 2.
Round the wicket, this time clipped away behind point and that will be 4 runs. Darcy Short placing it just out of the reach of the point fielder and picking up a boundary to take the score on to 70 for the loss of 2 wickets.
Pandya with the last ball, Fuller on the off stump and Darcy Short has smacked it down the ground and it will be a 4 to end this over. 11 runs coming off it, 9 overs gone, 76 for 2.
Well, let's see how costly that miss is going to prove because Darcy Short batting on 36 this time is hoisted it high in the air for 6. Glenn Maxwell doesn't believe in hanging around too much.
Short, this time he's taken it up in the air and he'll be caught. Vijay Shankar with the wicket of his very first ball. 94 clicks that delivery, slower ball, short of length. Darcy Short getting a top edge and hitting it up in the air. KL Rahul making no mistake at extra cover.
Next one, this time closer to the off stump, pulls it away and into the stands. That is another 6 from Glenn Maxwell. 12 overs gone, 108 for 3. Next one is sliced up high in the air and into the side screen for 6. That's 4th 6 from the blade of Glenn Maxwell. He moves on to 59 and as long as he's there in the crease, Australia definitely will be fancying their chances. Well, that will certainly be what he has on his mind, but he doesn't need to do that. If he can hit them like this over the fine leg area into the stands for 6.
What a shot. Really good shot. Not the easiest when it's fired in quickly onto your pads. Not very easy to free your arms, but he's such a fabulous striker of the cricket ball, Glenn Maxwell.
As Chahal bowls the next one, this time it's clipped away off the reverse sweep into the stands again. Back-to-back 6s for Glenn Maxwell. Maxwell facing up to Bumrah. This time tries to hoik it past the mid-wicket fielder into the fence for 4 runs. Diving to his left but not able to get to it was Rishabh Pant and 158 for 3. Next one from Siddharth Kaul, right arm over the wicket and tries goes over straight and into the side screen. 6 runs. So gets that 6 very early in the over. 165 for 3. Last delivery of the over. Siddharth Kaul to Glenn Maxwell. Full toss, hit away into the stands, high and handsome, and that takes him to 98 and Australia to 175 for 3. No ball as well, above waist high, and a free hit. So he's got to re-bowl that one. Now how costly is that going to be? Outside the off stump, up in the air, and that is 6 runs. Virat Kohli was there at long on but had no chance. So now the scores are level. 3 balls to go. Australia need 1 to win. Without a doubt, Glenn Maxwell, and he is on strike to Siddharth Kaul. The next one is smashed past the point fielder into the fence for 4 runs, and Australia win this match easily by 7 wickets with 2 balls remaining.
This is the Highlight Show. The Highlight Show.
You are listening to Sports Flashes Live.
Dhoni finishes off in style. A magnificent strike into the crowd. India lift the World Cup. Pulls it back. Here's Ronaldo for the hat-trick. And Cristiano Ronaldo does it again.
Sports Flashes, world's biggest sports radio channel. This is Sports Flashes Live.